Hello, I'm Jay, and welcome to Jay Designs. Today, I'm not going to be designing anything too crazy like I normally do, like that crazy front bumper, for example, or like the rock sliders that are behind me. All I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be getting a little action camera and building the mount out right there to get some good suspension shots for y'all. So I just wanted to cover the quick ideal of the plan that I'm going to try to bring to life here. So there's two studs here that are normally not exposed on a second or third gen Tacoma. Mine are exposed because I've redone the front end on this guy. And I'll link the video up in the cards and down below for that front bumper delete build thing. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up on these two studs and I'm going to have a little bracket that comes out. And the whole point of that is to mount a little action camera right here so we can get a really good shot of the suspension in there. And I'll be able to bring some really good suspension action to you in a new video. Let's get right into it. So got something to write on, got a pen. Just gonna do a quick little drawing here. So there's our two studs. These are gonna be brace plates I'll show in a second. And then this is the plate that the camera is gonna mount to. Like that, so that's the camera. And then I'll do the plate probably going like this. And there'll be a support piece on the bottom. And then we'll just pass a stud through it in one part and drill and tap it in another part. Should be pretty easy. Alright, so I've got all the main parts marked up here. So this part is going to be the part that the camera mounts on. I'll use this strip and this strip for some support plates. And this is going to be the main support triangle that goes where those two studs are. They'll go here. And then finally, this is just going to be a brace plate for the bottom of that strip. Usually I cut stuff out with the angle grinder, but I found using a jigsaw is super nice. It doesn't create as much gas as the angle grinder. So I like using this. The chips are just blazing hot when they come off this thing. All right, so I got all the pieces cut out. I'll just kind of give you a rough example of kind of what we're doing here. So this is where the studs are going to go right here. This is just the gusset tube. This is the main plate the camera will sit on out here. And then this guy is just going to serve to keep this piece from deflecting like that, keeping the camera rigid. And then this is just another brace plate that I'll show you in a second. It'll make more sense on the truck, but it'll keep it from doing like that. So hopefully we'll keep the camera super stable out of the end here. And so I got to drill holes in these, drill holes in that guy, and then drill holes in this plate, and then we'll tap this one as well. And that's what the camera will mount to. So I went ahead and tapped all these holes out to 1/4 by 20. That's a super common size on the bottom of any camera. So that'll make for a really nice mount for the action camera we're going to be putting up there. So here's the two holes that are going to go through the studs. I need to notch this part out because there's a little gusset on the frame that I need to clear. So I'm just going to use the grinder to grind that section out. And oh yeah, doing this in flip-flops. I live in Florida. It's hot. All right, so here are all the pieces. Literally the last thing I do, oh man, that's still hot. So literally the last thing I have to do is clean these up, and there's one more. I have to clean up on the angle grinder, and then I just gotta weld them together in the right orientation, and we're ready to test it out on the truck. Alright, so for the majority of this, I don't think I'm even going to clean them. Oh, this is not really like a highly structural weld or anything. So, alright, I'm just going to hold that in place. But, yeah, these aren't highly structural welds, so no point in going super clean with it. It's just holding up a little action camera, essentially. See if I can get this to stay in the right place. Still hot. Okay, that is literally it right there. So, I'll turn my hand off. Those are the two that's going to mount into the stud. Hopefully this is in the right orientation. I'm pretty sure it is. those are the two that's going to mount on the stud, and then there you go, it's all tacked together. The brace plate's what I'm holding it by. There's the tap threads. Last step is to go finish weld this, mount her to the truck, and make sure she fits. I'll probably have to grind back the weld on this front face over here, but other than that, we're done. And this one's just going to bolt on. This is the one that was too hot, I couldn't hold earlier. So yeah, let me finish weld and we'll get her on the truck. All right, so here's the finished bracket. Not too shabby. I left it out in the rain and it got a little bit rusty. It's okay that thing's rusty. I don't think I'm even gonna paint this. This would be a pretty low use item that I'll probably just throw in my camera bag and use for when I'm ripping around and stuff like that. I did go and drill 4 holes here, drill and tap, and you can see there's a little stud for a camera mount here that the camera goes into. But I got it out here and started cranking down on that bolt, and the thing promptly broke right off of there. This is a really cheapy mount. I think I paid 20 bucks for like a whole kit of like, I don't know, 10 different mounts for cameras and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to figure something else out. I'm like an hour away from home to get out here to do these suspension shots, so get back with you in a second. All right, so I managed to find a little sticky mount. So this is a, I don't know, 8-year-old GoPro mount. Hopefully that works. I'm gonna try to find the best place for the camera and stick it on here. I did have 4 holes on here so I can move the camera around, but obviously it's not gonna work. Maybe I'll figure something out for the studs later, but for now we're gonna use a sticky mount so I can get y'all some cool shots. So really quickly, I just kind of wanna cover the way the part was constructed. So this thin piece of steel, I could have just had like this gusset and this thin piece of steel, but the point of this one below it that's welded to the long piece is that gives it rigidity kind of in this direction. So this would be prone to kind of flexing under the little bit of weight with the camera when I'm bouncing around off road. So that's the point of this web here. And that's just a 1/16 of an inch. It's real thin. Obviously this part is to connect up to the truck by those 2 bolt holes, and then this is the part that holds the camera. And then this other little piece, I'll show you what this does on the truck. So let me zip these bolts off and we'll throw the bracket on. Do I wish I had waited for the high-speed one? For the most part, yes. That is literally, this factory hook is literally like the perfect hook for this thing. Love it. Okay, so the whole point of this little tidbit of steel here is it makes this bracket right here rigid in this direction. We don't need rigidity in this direction because it's jamming up against this bracket here. But this just doubles the thickness of the material in this direction of bending. So not that much that way, not that much that way. If I were to take that bracket out, you'd probably have more bending in this way. And I want this guy pretty rigid because I'm actually moving the truck off of that. That's crazy. I actually want this guy pretty rigid because the want stable footage off the camera. Thinking right here. 30-year-old adhesive, here we go. Ta-da! Sweet. Don't think she looks too bad. Oh yeah, before I forget, I've got that camera angle and I went ahead and installed a second stud right here. It's just actually a bolt going into one of the factory holes right here. And that, what I'm trying to aim at, is the bump stop on the rear. So you'll get 2 angles coming to that video soon. And it'll be in this video too. Pretty much I want to see, I've got such good shocks on this truck. I'm not trying to flex or anything. I actually can't tell when it bottoms out or if it bottoms out. And I've hit stuff pretty hard. So I want to be able to see it today. All right, with that, I hope you like the build. I'll do some ripping around shots for you probably next week. But again, usually I do a bit more crazy builds than this, like that wing that's back there. Let me just show you that actually. Yeah, I wasn't joking. I'm still editing the video for that. Also, this truck's going to be getting a flatbed conversion soon. So if you want to see that stuff, go find the little red button below and you know what to do. With that, I'm Jay. You've been watching Jay Designs, and thank you so much for watching. Now, I'll leave you with a couple closing shots of me ripping around this beautiful spot. You won't have to wait till next week for the real driving video. Do a little torque stand, build up some power on the torque converter, let her loose. So absolutely zero wheel spin. Actually was contributed to it being in two-wheel drive. It feels a little bit less nimble, but obviously we have substantially more traction. The steering feels a bit more sluggish, but I can really tell it's into the bowl, turning hard. We got some big banks here, carrying on momentum. Right up on those big banks. This is where we got stuck in two-wheel drive. Cut her in hard, full cut, truck's not turning. Finally caught that bank, now we're turning. Look for our finish line here. We actually feel like we're doing four-wheel drive drifts. And time. So let me know, for those of you that got rock sliders, do your rock sliders end up looking like this every time you go off-road? I mean, thankfully I live in Florida and it rains like every 2 seconds, thereabout. But yeah, is it just me? I mean, these I built myself, but let me know, do your sliders look like that?
Follow along with the build at oak_taco on Instagram.